everyone, and we are back with yet another inspiring story to share with you all in our Proudly Local series. My name is Shrishti Shukla and I'm a senior consultant with michaelpage, leading the finance leadership and CFO hiring for healthcare and life science practice. Our today's guest is someone who has been on a mission to transform the face of the healthcare infrastructure in the country. Mr. Vivek Tiwari, co-founder and CEO of Medikabazaar. Medikabazaar is India's pioneering and largest B2B online marketplace of medical equipments and medical supplies. Hi Vivek, a very warm welcome to you. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Shrishti, and thank you, michaelpage, for having me here today.
Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and tell us what was really the eureka moment for you? How did Medikabazaar happen?
After I graduated, I did my postgraduate program from IIM Calcutta. I started working and I was into industry, working with earlier with telecom companies, moved on to work. And while doing all of that, my grandmother suffered from a terminal ailment. She was on a dialysis. She was not keeping well and she was in a very remote place. So she had to go through a lot in terms of looking at availing dialysis for herself over a period of at least 2.5 years till the time she could survive. But that actually opened up a great, I would say, a great awakening to me that why in a country like India, we are still suffering with healthcare infrastructure, which is not available in tier 2-3 towns. And that was way back in 2011, which is about 10 years back. And during that time, I was actually looking to contribute to the overall, healthcare systems and healthcare delivery in our country. And so I left my, job at Tata's that point in time and joined one very impactful medical devices company. I was looking to do something like this, create more impactful, business models which could really help our country to progress to at least sizable, kind of a progress in terms of healthcare delivery. At that point in time, it was really, really a challenging thing for me to kind of digest and not to find any digital interventional platform which could have a complete ecosystem there on top of it. And especially from B2B perspective.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to serve just the patients. I want to make the healthcare delivery, healthcare institutions, the medical centers more effective in terms of patient delivery model.
Absolutely.
So that was the idea which actually triggered me to set up a platform like Medikabazaar. As the name is synonymous to a marketplace, Bazaar, so I wanted to set it up like a interaction between buyers and sellers. And I wanted to create the largest interaction between buyers and sellers globally in terms of looking at entire medical procurement. And that was the idea when Medikabazaar came into being. And that's been a phenomenal journey after that. We were first in the market at that point in time. There were many, Me Too models which got developed, which got even vanished with a period with coming years over a period of time. But we could sustain, we could learn from that initial model and come to a different pivots in our business. This has been the journey for Medikabazaar, and this is what I came up with, Shrishti, and I tried to build this into a complete business model.
Absolutely. If you can just reflect back on your last 5 years journey, Vivek, and tell us a bit about, things that, you've done differently, which has helped the organization to grow to the level that it has grown today. What would really it be? If you can just pick up some experiences that you would like to share with us today.
Sure, absolutely. So when we started this, Shrishti, it was not an easy one for me, very clearly, because this industry had legacy problems because it is too traditional in nature, right? There were suppliers, there were distributors, the pricing inconsistency is huge. There was no MRP concept. It was very difficult to see that many of medical products did not have MRP that point in time. Companies would sell them at X price and they would charge anything. So they would kind of make any sort of money in the process and even offer flexible credits just to make sure that they are able to retain customers. But when I started working towards it, the same seller ecosystem did not accept us well because they thought that this industry cannot work on a digital, kind of a digital platform. We were having good support from customer, but not very good support from seller ecosystem. Then we created an open marketplace where we said that, okay, sellers can directly sell at the defined price to the customers and we will just have a marketplace fee commission model, which essentially Flipkart or Amazon is doing. So that really helped us. Sellers were happy to come on board because they could control the price. They could have the pricing on their side and we still charge like marketplace fee just from them.
Right.
So from that point in time, now if I see the journey, and we also looked at various iterations at which our customers was was not really happy, not just by looking at the marketplace model, but even going beyond the marketplace model. I think we are learning from the market, from our customers, and trying to deliver it in a tech-driven business model, which could really help our customers to get more from every rupee they are spending from their hard-earned money, rather.
Vivek, my next question to you would be, we're all living in very unnatural times right now, and pandemic has given much needed push to certain businesses, at the same time has impacted certain businesses. What do you think is the scope of B2B health tech, or let's take your example in this case, what do you think is the scope of this kind of business in a post-pandemic world?
In last 18 to 20 months, pandemic has given us a great support. It's given us a great tailwind to grow digitally. The reason being that, physical meetings have stopped. Customers are not willing to meet physically. So for them, the only channel through which they can reach out to their their seller network, or they can reach out to us, is through digital network. Pandemic has brought a very big change in the way we look at businesses, or in the way businesses are being done today. But it will shift to a certain normalized, kind of a situation. It will never go back to original. So we still see a massive growth which is happening post-pandemic in the way digital way of business is being done.
So tell me, Vivek, if I have to understand from you, you've completed your Series C round of funding, the business is scaling up to massive levels. Where do you see yourself heading from here on? If I have to understand your long-term vision, what really would it be?
Yeah. So our priority remains India market, right? Because we still believe that India as a country has immense amount of opportunity, and we will try to build as much as momentum in the country with more number of VPO customers, to more sizable business opportunities, more products which could help our customers like Embark or Vizi, and try to make it much more success, in the coming few months or few quarters to look at. And on top of it, there are international customers, because right now about 20 to 25% of our traffic comes from outside India. So we will try to get into markets which are looking lucrative to us, say for example Gulf or African countries at this point in time, then moving on to Southeast Asian countries, then moving to Latin American countries. A lot of countries in this point in time in pandemic have really suffered because of the poor healthcare delivery network, right? Sure. And more so poor medical supplies delivery network. So that's where we will try to build our strength to reach out to these countries as well in coming few quarters or so. That is what we are looking at. And obviously, as we keep growing in the business, we need more funding to support our business.
Well, I think that's a brilliant point, Vivek. I'm sure this is going to be super helpful for our audience. Thank you very much once again, and I wish you all the very best for your journey ahead. And it was lovely to have you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shrishti. It was really nice talking to you, and thank you, Michael Page team, for organizing this for me. Thank you.